should be, yeah. Cool.
Cool.
Okay. Okay, we're here with Ceremony, live in lockdown. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. It's 9 o'clock this evening in the UK. I guess it's about 3 o'clock in the East Coast, I do believe.
Yes.
That's cool. Just saying, how you doing throughout this lockdown period, or how you doing during lockdown? Or is there anything's changed during this period of time, or is there anything good developing during this lockdown? Just
Well, I guess
Start?
the only thing good is that I have some time to record right now. That's pretty good.
That's a really good thing. Well, I'm gonna get started. I'm just gonna read it from what I found. Ceremony is John Friedowitz, member of Shoegaze legend Skywave. I have listened to Skywave about 10 years now, since I got into Place the Very Strangers at the same time. So, and also got into Ceremony during this period of times, as probably a combo right there, because I was a really big fan of Jesus and Mary Chain and My Bloody Valentine. I guess I wanted to listen to other bands that were influenced by that. So that was
Good choice.
definitely yeah. Continuing on, his wife Sandra, the two-piece band was originally formed in 2005, etc. Other band members and been touring Europe, Asia, and the US. I saw you guys last year in the UK. You guys were phenomenal. That was
that was our first time there, and it was a blast.
Yeah.
That was a real treat for everyone who wanted to see the band for quite a long time, and I think they finally got their money's worth into it, which is brilliant.
Okay.
I think it really got, or they got their listening pleasure's worth. It was a really good night. That was both nights actually. I do believe it was in Reading as well, which was definitely unique. So I really particular that. So I'm going to ask the first question. How did the band got its start? As in Ceremony, well, I just mentioned how, the band's formed 2005. Where did this all begin? How did Ceremony arrive?
Well, I was recording a lot of stuff, like a lot of demos and things that didn't really get nothing ever came out of them with Skywave, and so I had this huge backlog of music that once Oliver moved to New York, we never broke up with Skywave, but he moved to New York to I think he didn't like live in the same town as his parents, because we would always like go to the same functions his parents would show up at, and he was like, oh gosh, like that kind of thing. So he's always wanted to move to New York. So I had a huge catalog of music, and I just started recording demos, and Paul, the guitar player from Skywave, we decided to start something where we had a drum machine, and it was really kind of cool. Like we were like totally influenced and stuff like Depeche Mode and New Order and all this stuff, and we were like, yeah, let's go with the drum machine thing, have like some electro beats and stuff like that. So that's a lot of fun.
That I bet it is. It's a lot of people can be very creative when it comes to start up a new band with a drum machine, especially like the kind of industrial stuff coming from the late 80s, mid to late 80s, with the industrial drum beats of Big Black, and I guess Swans had that industrial, and I guess you're going back to Frog and Gristle and those industrial groups. I think that kind of has a big influence on drum machine, and I guess it kind of led up to Nine Inch Nails in many ways. That whole drum beats, maybe like noisy guitar elements, a little bit of here and there, and
it was so easy to record it that way, but like playing it live was a really big deal. Like to try to figure it out. We ended up having to lug around a PA system just for our drum machine because we couldn't trust the person that was doing our sound to push the beat for how loud we were playing on guitars and stuff like that. So it was kind of a big deal to it was almost like bringing two drum sets, like loading the cars and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like huge PA system just for the drum machine.
Okay. Speaking of the drum machines and the beats and I guess the musical structure, what are the band's influences for Ceremony?
Like to this day, like
Um,
right now.
anything from there to today, I guess. You know, anything.
I mean, of course, you know, like we were totally into My Bloody Valentine, and I actually rarely listen to stuff like that right now. Even though it's like really cool. Like I used to like find that Slowdive was kind of a bit boring, but now I'm like more into Slowdive today than I was when they were still a band, you know. And of course, The Cure is like never not been in my playlist weekly, you know. Like, and we like stuff like Beach House and Chad Van Galen. He's like a solo guy. Really cool.
Nice. It's I was going to say about the influences about Slowdive. A lot of people I heard back in the day didn't seem to like Slowdive at all, but I think in their recent years when they reformed, I guess people were getting more into it or sort of grew on them because I think the younger generation sort of latched onto Slowdive, especially with the last album, Piganelli. It was a kind of a big influence, in my opinion, on bands like Mogwai or possibly Explosions in the Sky, that kind of
Right.
experimental rock genre. And also, when I got to saw them for the second time, I think they were just phenomenal live. I mean, probably back in the day when friends who were like older than I am, personally like been around during the first, yeah, been around the early '90s scene at that time. They probably most people thought they were like really boring as hell, but I think
I don't know. I probably would have enjoyed to see them back then because seeing some of those old YouTube videos of them playing like
yeah.
Sublime
Oh yeah.
Station and stuff like that, it's just like whoa, it would have been a great time, you know, like
I
them looking
I
kind of like grunge and stuff like that. It's cool.
I feel the same way for me personally. I would, I mean, if I was in that period of time, I mean, I would definitely enjoy them for the first time round. I thought they would be amazing personally because the wall of sound, the ethereal guitar sounds, that kind of thing going on. It's a really beautiful thing when you first time see a band like that live and you feel express. I think going if I went back to that period of time, I think I'd probably be enjoyed it more than now. Really, more back then and than now. Really. So, but there's I think the scenes like there was only like the shoegaze scene back when it started out, like I guess early '90s, late '80s, early '90s period. I mean, it only was started in down that southern part of the UK though. I mean, besides quite a few bands up north, but mostly the scene was definitely started out as a small scene in I guess down London southeast really. And but I think it kind of developed in the stateside much more like during the later years, which I'm going to move on, I guess, with the next question. It's going to be a related one. Is there a shoegaze scene happening in the East Coast or the rest of America as a country? Is there a good shoegaze scene going around in the United States, or has this scene got much better by, much better in recent years? What's your intake on it?
I think the still like if you just talk to like kids like that are like in their 20s, still have to tell them what shoegaze is. I mean that's like and maybe they have an idea of it, but I guess I don't know about the whole shoegaze thing in the USA. It's still struggling. It's got a huge online scene, but yet not many people show up to the shows. You know, like I mean, I guess when you because we don't really think of ourselves as shoegaze, but I guess we get put into that genre a lot, which I don't mind because I love the music. But it's easier to go with like post punk or something like that than shoegaze.
Yeah.
I've always had a problem with it because like we do like write music like that from time to time, or definitely in back in the day, you know.
I was going to say, last year when I saw Ceremony for the first time, I thought you guys were much more than a shoegaze band. I thought you were a little bit more heavier, a little bit energetic, like I guess similarity to A Place to Bury Strangers, that kind of energetic noise rock distortion, like climbing over the drum sets and all that. That's pretty energetic, and I thought that was really definitely out of the ordinary shoegaze scene at that time, and you know.
Yeah, I just started like doing that drum set thing just to kind of mess with her, you know, she ended up loving it. So like, it's like our little time to like speak to each other while we're playing, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. It just kind of happened. I never really like meant to do it. But yeah, the energetic thing. Yeah, I kind of I like the whole intensity of our music, and I like the volume, and I feel comfortable stomping on my distortion pedal and playing for 40 minutes just with that on. You know, like sometimes if I don't use it, it'll like I guess you get a little bit more of me, and I don't really want to show it. So.
And I was going to say, this is probably going to be a question. You can answer it. You don't want to answer this one if you don't want to. If you want to answer, that'd be cool. Okay. Will there be a Skywave reunion one day?
You're not the first one who asked.
I think a lot of people have really came up to the conclusion.
It would be a lot of fun. That's for sure. We were asked to do a tour in China like 2 years ago, and we talked about it for a little bit, and it just kind of went away. You know, like it's like we're all doing our own thing right now, and it would be like kind of hard to get it together. But if it ever happened, I would totally be willing to.
Yeah. I know Oliver is doing really well for the Place to Bury Strangers and all that, touring around as much as they can. And I even saw them about a couple of times, and they're very loud. They're very loud and distorted. And if you ever go near a PA, I fight you if anyone was a camera person, I wouldn't go near the PA when I'm performing. It's so loud and distorted, you might end up getting swallowed up, chewed up, and spat out. It's like they're a great live act, though. I saw them a couple of times. I thought they were really energetic themselves, and I listened to Paul's new project, Static Daydream. It's really amazing too. I listened to got one of their albums on me. They are particularly phenomenal. Good to be on Saint Marie Records, which are really good, and they have that Jeep and Mary Chain kind of influence, which I truly love.
Yeah. He's really, really good at writing songs and recording.
Okay. This is going to probably be a bonus question. If lockdown will be over quite soon, which I don't know, a lot of people say it will doubt it. What would the band do? Are you going to guys continue touring, or are you going to be releasing new material if lockdown was over sometime?
Gosh, yeah. We actually we had to cancel our European tour in May, and we were going to Israel as well, and that really hurt us. Like we were like, you know, like, and it's been almost a year since we went back to Europe, so, or over a year. And yeah, we had to cancel a couple Midwest and East Coast tour. I mean, our tour for the USA. Yeah,
Yeah, we're definitely ready to go on tour again. And we were really lucky that all venues and promoters that wanted to work with us this May are still interested. So right now it looks like as if hopefully, I mean, you never know right now, right, how it will turn out. But hopefully if COVID kind of like maybe trickles down a bit more and things can open again, we would come back around March 2021. That's kind of like the time frame that we're looking at right now.
Yeah, like it's really kind of, I don't know, it's a bit of a confusing year really when it comes to this COVID-19. It's like when do we get back to, well, the way we started with all the gigging, and like, do we really need to, is there going to be new restrictions like wearing face masks during these times, or will it be social, like, is there going to be social distancing? This is like really not good to, I think, in my opinion, I don't think this will be good for gigging though, if it's like too many people are social distancing, I think, in my opinion. But I think gigs are supposed to be coming together and enjoying something unique, and I think that's,
and a club isn't going to make the money they want if they can only put in like half the capacity. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's another thing where we get messages from all around the world right now with people that we're connected, that there are a lot of venues or promoters that are worried or even have to close down. So who knows how the future will look like for music venues. So we're crossing fingers, but yeah, I think the idea of that we all really go back to normal or how it was before, I think that will happen that way. So, and we were really surprised, or what was really fun, it's even a bit awkward, there was all the live streaming, like people were like, hey, don't you want to do like a live set? So at least people found a way to connect really fast in a different way.
Oh, definitely. I think this lockdown, I think this is a good part of lockdown. I get to do home recorded shows, sort of doing some interview time with bands that I truly like. And I think I can never do that in when I was doing UK festivals. I mean, I never really got to meet the bands that I really wanted to try and interview. And I'm here right now doing this. So this is pretty good. So I've definitely set my mind onto this at this moment of time. But when the gigging gets back to the way it is, I'll be able to jump back in there and just enjoy it. You know, it's much more.
and also with your question, we're in the middle of recording a new album as well. So it's like don't know if it'll come out this year, but
we're basically always recording, right? I mean, that's why we release a song every once in a while on Bandcamp to just like be like, hey, there's something new for you guys. Hopefully, anytime soon there will be a new album.
Okay, I'm looking forward to hearing that. Is there any questions you want to add? Is there anything that you want to add before we end the interview? Anything at all?
Just how's life on your side of the ocean? It's always good to hear.
It's I think it's all gone. I don't know. It's a bit mad at the moment, I think. You know, but hopefully things will pick up the way they are. You know, maybe, like I said, the gigging scene, maybe the gigs will get back to the way they are. Maybe things will change slightly, but I think things will just will hopefully continue as normal. That's how I see it. But, you know, only one day at a time, I guess. It's the only way I can think about it. So that's how I see it. But, you know, just got to stay positive and do the best you can, really. So
that's what we're trying to go through with the positive, you know. So
yeah,
there's always
definitely.
something that happens this year. So I mean, like
yeah, I think 2020 is a very special year for all of us in a way.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I just want to say thank you for your time, by the way. It's been a great pleasure.
Thank you so much again.
Yeah, thanks. I'm sorry I was late.
Yeah.
You know.
No worries. It's glad to do it. Glad to do it. So thank you for your time. And
All right, cool.
Take care.
So if we stop this just technique question. Like, you still get the recording, right? Or am I supposed to send you this?
I think you're supposed to send me this because it's landed on your laptop. It should be. I think I got one of us got to stop this first.
Okay. All right. So if I get something, then I'll definitely send it to you.
Yeah.
Hopefully it works. Okay.
Anyways, thank you. I'll just
All right.
cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Take care.